In June 28, 1919, the Treaty of Versailles was signed by all involved in World War I. This was thought to help prevent a Second World War. They thought wrong. Ha! Joke's on them! The Treaty of Versailles actually helped start World War II. Oh, how the tables have turned! World War II started in 1939, and with that came the use of espionage.
Some people think spies came from the same background, but that isn't the case. They come from unique backgrounds, like being a failed chicken farmer. Their backgrounds were all different. For example, an agent called Zigzag. He had served 7 years in prison before becoming a spy. Originally working for the Nazis, he joined the British as a double agent when a mission went haywire. Now let me tell you 2 reasons why people became spies. They wanted the money, or sometimes they were lucky ducks and got recruited by other agents. And now, some training scenes.
No, silly. This is unarmed combat.
Hello, I'm Enkel Schweizer, and I'm here to talk about jobs. Spies had many jobs to do, and none of them were exactly the same. Some of the not that exciting parts were things like setting up safe houses for new agents and picking up ammunition. Now on to the good stuff. One of their jobs was to make backpacks stuffed with explosives to blow up phone lines and get rid of power. They planted bombs. Oh, and they stole enemy plans. One of the jobs they did was to eavesdrop on the German army. Women typically had jobs like seducing men to extract information. On U-boat bases, bartenders and prostitutes listened to chatter, which spies passed on to the British in code.
Hello.
Even with all these jobs, there was one main mission for the spies that was vital, and it was to infiltrate German submarine bases along the coast and report on U-boat movements.
There was a risk to every mission, and every spy had their fears. They could have their cover blown. Any mistake they made could endanger the life of others. Man, if they did that to me, I would be hunting them down. Anytime an agent betrayed their comrades, they were in risk of being poisoned, shot, or getting sent to the concentration camp if they weren't careful. Goodbye, Bubba. I love you so much. You'll always be my 500-year-old husband. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Ella. You were such a good bear. Don't mind my hat. I brought you this radiance.
You'd think they wouldn't betray their country, but no! In some cases, women had their own blinkered views of female leadership to overcome. Marie Madeleine Fourcade didn't think she could be a spy, and that was precisely why she would be above suspicion. Some women had trouble believing in themselves and that they could do it. Everyone had trouble putting their faith in someone, for there was always a chance of lending the information to the wrong hands. Everyone got trust issues.
Rodent bombs were dead rats filled with explosives. The trick was to place the rats in factories near enemy camps and bases to explode. Knives used by the spies were hidden within shoes, clothing, and sleeves. Small cameras were used that could fit into a matchbox so that they could spy on others without seeing the cameras. Suicide pills were carried in necklaces so that they could be taken if agents were in danger of being captured and to avoid an unpleasant death.
People still thought women couldn't do much at the time. How could they? So there were not many female agents. Because of this, it allowed them to be perfect to take the job of being a spy. And when a woman did take a job in espionage, other people wouldn't expect it. An example is of Jenny Russo, who hung around with Nazi officers. They explained their exploits to her, including a new rocket technology, the V-2, and the first ballistic missile. Oh, and they also showed her their plans. As she later puts it, I was such a little one sitting with them, and I could not help but hear what was said. Idiots.
Women showed that they could execute operations. Make strategic life and death decisions, and do anything a man could do. It helped women get higher in the world and show that they could do more than staying at home with kids while they cook and clean. Sonia Perel, author of A Woman of No Importance, points out, success opened the gates to more women agents, and due to being a woman, it was often easy to get information, get past people, or sneak into places, since they were thought of as weaker than men and unable to do the same things they could do.
Even though both women and men were spies, women were treated unfairly. They got lower salaries and ranks. Male spies got recommended for high honors in military guarantee, while women weren't considered soldiers and therefore not eligible for honors, and the idea of women being in the head of an operation was considered inadequate. Marie Madeleine Fourcade used Hedgehog as her code name so no one could tell her gender. This way, British officers and soldiers would treat her seriously, and any of her agents could still rely on British support and funding.
Oh, hey! And now it's time for a bonus mission. When the Allies needed to invade Sicily in 1943, they knew the Germans would be rapidly reinforcing it. So, they dressed up a corpse as a man, chained a briefcase of fake invasion plans for Greece to his wrist, and floated him on the ocean currents towards neutral Spain. As the British expected, the documents were handed over to the Nazis, and they assumed them to be genuine. The Germans prepared for an invasion in the wrong place, saving thousands of Allied lives during the invasion of Sicily.
How do we put in your legs in the view button?
1, 2, 3.
Okay, this is gonna be quick, okay? I promise.
Christopher Columbus could never. Are you recording?
Christopher Columbus could never, yes. This is so hard. I feel like I'm in the military. My knees hurt. Kaylee, this is hard.
It's like complaining. And I could not hear what was said and what they did not say. Wait. I was such a little one sitting with them. I could not hear what was said.